What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to discuss why being silent, pulling away, no contact, whatever you want to call it, how it resets or why it resets the power dynamic, and it kind of equals the playing field. Okay, we'll talk about why it does, and of course sometimes it doesn't, and why that's the case. Okay, so jumping into this, I first want to discuss why the guy is pulling away in the first place, because I think that is really important to set up the groundwork for what I'm about to tell you. You have to understand when a guy is pulling away, there are several reasons why that is, okay? It doesn't really matter the reason, because you still need to do what you got to do, but here are several reasons. Number one, maybe he's taking you for granted. This is probably because you're doing too much and you're giving the guy too many assets versus how much he has worked for it, right? So that balance isn't correct. If that's the case, well, then just kind of pull back and make him work for it, bring it up, of course, and all that type of stuff. Another reason is maybe the context has built up too fast, meaning the things you guys have done and said over time, in a short period of time at least, he might be love bombing you and you're going along with it. This usually happens within the first month, but it layers up to a point where it feels like this is something with potential, right? Especially if things are going well and you have a guy who's acting weird or different and then starts pulling away. You definitely know he's in his head, but the context is building up, things are going well, the guy freaks out and starts to pull away. That could be another reason why he's kind of doing his thing and you need to be silent. And of course, the third one, which is the guy is unsure about you. Maybe context is built up, but he's not sure what he wants with you, but he doesn't want to cut you off. But at the same time, he doesn't want to commit, right? So it's smart for him to keep you right here in the middle where he doesn't have to take any risk, and the risk is put on you because you're the one hoping things change. So you're sitting around and wasting, and that's the cost you're paying. Whereas he doesn't have to commit, right? So he's not taking that risk, but he's not cutting you off either, because he doesn't want to take that risk. He might fear he actually is losing you. So that's why we need to create silence, okay, and start pulling back, because we have to make a guy, or we have to kind of create one of those situations where it's like a scenario where it's like, no, there is a cost for you not making a decision. There is a cost for you acting like an idiot. Okay, you don't want to commit. I can't make you commit, but I'm not going to sit right here and wait around. So the only other option is, well, he has to lose you. And ladies, it resets the power dynamic, because the reason he's doing these dumb things to begin with is because of, one, he's either unsure about you, or I guess I gave you a bunch of reasons, but they all fall under this umbrella, which is I'm unsure about you, or I feel like I have you and I don't have to really make this decision just yet. And if that's the case, here you are, here's him. The power dynamic's probably like that, because if he feels he has the right to make this choice, okay, then there's some narrative in his head, in his mind, that is telling him he can do this because the risk is worth the reward, meaning there's things you have either done up to this situation, such as give him multiple chances, took him back when he doesn't deserve it, saying you're only talking to him. Again, it can be a million things. Put out too early. Maybe you're chasing because of that. You're trying to seek validation. The power dynamic's already a little off. Whatever it is, you're doing something that is telling him it's okay to take this risk, because the chances of you sticking around and it paying off for him, and again, he knows this based on the shit you've done up to this point that's told him it's okay to do so, right? He's going to take this risk. And if that's the case, obviously he's thinking that, and you're like, hey, well, I want a relationship. I could see where the power dynamic is in his favor. So when a woman starts to pull away, be silent, communicate her needs, and say, hey, you know what, I just feel like we're on different pages, I wish you the best of luck, homie, and then she goes off and does her thing, it's going to reset it. Now, just because it resets it, it doesn't mean the guy's going to come running back. It does increase the chances of that happening, but sometimes a man just doesn't come back for the fact that he knows, like, for example, if you're talking to a guy who's emotionally unavailable, it's like, well, yeah, I do like her. Emotionally unavailable people can like you, ladies. It is genuine. It is authentic. I do like her. I do care. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm still emotionally unavailable and I don't want to give her a relationship. This is a easy way out for me. And I don't mean that in terms of it benefits him. It's just like, well, I don't want to keep this going because I don't want to lead her on. And, she kind of did the work for me, which is, hey, we're just on different pages. The guy's not going to come back around and beg to be with you, to be put in that situation to only lead you on and hurt you, right? So that could happen. That's one reason why a guy doesn't return. But at the same time, if a guy does like you, he's just unsure about you or fearful of a relationship, but he was open to it at one point, no contact or pulling away, being silent, whatever you want to call it, is a good addition to this dynamic. And the reason for that is there has to be a consequence to your actions, man or woman, everybody. There has to be a cause and effect. Like I always say, the universe is very mechanical, right? Mother Nature, there's supposed to be a place for everything, and everything has a place type of thing. You're not supposed to be talking to a guy who doesn't want the same thing as you. From an evolutionary perspective, that's stupid because you're paying a huge cost as a woman when in reality, Mother Nature wants you to be the one coordinated, wants you to be the one who makes the decisions. Women are supposed to be the choosers. Men are the offerers, right? And then the woman chooses. But in this dynamic where you're sitting around being hopeful and this guy's like, hey, you just wait right here. I'm going to go do my thing. That's not going to benefit you, okay? So again, that's what it resets. There's a consequence to the man's actions. Now, again, that doesn't mean the man's going to come back, but it does trigger the regret response. It does trigger the reflection or reflecting response, at least, where a man's going to reflect or regret, or I guess reflect and or regret the decision he makes. So that's why you kind of want to do it, ladies. Now, I always tell my clients, don't just pull away to pull away. People tell me all the time, I hate playing games. You teach games. No, I actually don't. I don't teach games at all. Y'all think I do. But if you get my guides or you get a session with me, you will know firsthand that I just don't tell you, hey, you got to drop the guy and play this game. I don't say that. We go deep into your situation. So if you're interested, links down below for both guides or my session with me. But to get to the nitty gritty, I tell my clients to communicate first, to try to work it out. Because the worst thing you can do is call his bluff, try to do this shit, right? And then cave. You lose. If you cave, you lose, ladies. You lose. You're not getting him back because you just conditioned him. Hey, I just got to wait her out. She cares more than I do. That's why she caves in the first place. Just give it a certain amount of time. Oh, and in that time, I'm going to go talk to other women. Okay? So you can't cave. Instead, I want a woman to try to communicate her needs. I want a woman to try to work things out. And sometimes that looks very one-sided. But the point of it is, hey, you know what? I tried. I did my part. I don't want to have any what-ifs. I want to close the book and know I've done everything in my power possible to make this work. This guy's just a piece of shit. This guy's just an asshole. This guy is just emotionally unavailable. And whatever, man. He's an ass, but I wish him the best, right? So that's what you do. And then no contact or silence is what you follow up with. And you cannot let a guy in, ladies, unless he comes back and realizes, I done wrong, I hurt you, I'm not going to do it again, and let's commit. Okay? Simple as that. So if you're interested in working with me, links down below. If you want to get my guides, links down below. Ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.